I think for me, like leadership, a great leader is somebody who understands human behavior, right? It's being really self-aware, and also being able to read the room and read the emotion of the room and not be involved, but be able to detach yourself from it and then resolve what's going on.
Success looks so easy from the outside, but all successful people have had to overcome enormous obstacles along the way, and in many cases, look failure right in the eye. Most successful people don't focus on the struggle, and rarely do they talk about it because, quite frankly, that's not what creates success. Join us here where we will chat with fierce female entrepreneurs and share the good, the bad, and the ugly of entrepreneurship, and talk about the obstacles we have faced and how you can overcome them to reach the success that you desire. I am your host, Cami Lehman, and this is the She's Invincible podcast. Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining us today at the She's Invincible podcast. I am so excited about our guest that we have with us today, the amazing Brynne Tillman. Brynne is the LinkedIn Whisperer and CEO of Social Sales Link. For over a decade, she has been teaching entrepreneurs, sales teams, and business leaders how to leverage LinkedIn for social selling. As a former sales trainer and personal producer, Brynne adopted all of the traditional sales techniques and adapted them to the new digital world. She guides professionals to establish a thought leader and subject matter expert brand, find and engage the right targeted market, and leverage clients and networking partners for warm introductions into qualified buyers. In addition, Brynne is the author of the LinkedIn Sales Playbook, a tactical guide to social selling. Brynne, thank you. Welcome, and thank you so much for being with us today.
Oh, Cami, I am so grateful to be a guest on your show. This is really exciting.
I love it. I love it. And I want to celebrate you today. So Brynne, welcome. Welcome. We're so excited to have you. And I know you are the expert of LinkedIn, and I want to hear all about all the things LinkedIn.
Oh, I'm so excited. And I love LinkedIn, but primarily for business development people, folks that are responsible for bringing in new clients and expanding their existing clients often underutilize the power of LinkedIn in their existing network to really grow their business. And so where I really love to focus is how to really master LinkedIn for social selling.
Awesome. Awesome. Tell me, how did you get involved in LinkedIn? I mean, I know you've been, in business for many years, and LinkedIn hasn't been around forever. So how did you even get involved in that? And why LinkedIn and not one of the other millions of ways?
Yeah, it sort of accidentally. I was a sales trainer, and LinkedIn kind of came in to the world. I'll reduce the story, but it showed up really as this job board, and it really was foremost on everyone's mind during kind of the last recession, when everybody was losing their jobs, being laid off in like 06, 07, 08, which is when LinkedIn was sort of coming into the marketplace. And I immediately saw the power for salespeople, because it solved a problem that I had. And the problem that I had was I knew for a fact that the best way to grow business was through referrals. But what would happen is when I'd ask a client, a very happy client, who they knew that could use my services the way they have, they would think and then shrug and say, I don't know. I can't think of anyone right now. But if someone should ask, I'm always happy to refer you. What LinkedIn did is it allowed me to search and filter their connections before I had that conversation. So I could make a list of all the people that my client was connected to on LinkedIn. And instead of saying, who do you know? I noticed you're connected to 18 people on LinkedIn that I'd love to get in front of. Can I run these names by you? And at least 6, 7, or 8 of those are people they knew. And so I was able to shift, still stick with relationship bound sales and still stick with referral based sales, but in a way that we took control of it and in a way that we could, really get to our clients thinking about who they do actually know that we want to meet.
I love it. It's almost like a automated way to like niche down, right? Like you can sort through the people without actually having to meet them all, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's really a powerful tool to search who knows who you're looking to meet and leverage your social proximity to get to them.
I love it. I love it. So, do you have any like quick tips that you could give to people, or maybe just even share just your thoughts about why LinkedIn versus some of the others?
Well, so there's a lot of reasons I love LinkedIn. One of them is it's got the best search filters to identify your targeted buyers, particularly if you're selling into companies or B2B sales. If you are a consumer-driven salesperson, you want to find your referral partners. So for example, if you're a financial advisor that only really sells into individuals and families, think about who else is selling into them. CPAs or tax attorneys. Who else are your clients working with that could help refer you in and that you could refer them in and grow those partners. And that's how I look at LinkedIn. But why do I love LinkedIn more than anything else? You can't search and filter by title, by company size, by buyer persona from a B2B perspective better anywhere else except for LinkedIn. I mean, and it's got the data. Facebook tried to do a LinkedIn-ish thing that was called Branch Out, and it didn't make it. And the reason is the data they have is personal data. They don't have, VPs of sales or VPs of, they have them there, they just aren't identified. And it was really hard for them to grab that data. Because LinkedIn is really at its foundation a recruiting / find a job tool, people are thrilled to have their resumes up there. And so it really became a very powerful sales tool because of the data they were able to collect.
I love it. It makes sense. It makes sense. And if you're looking for professional people, like that's a great place to go to find them. Mm-hmm. They're not taking selfies, right? You're not getting, not that that's not cool. Cause hey, I take selfies too. I took one today, but that's not what you're finding on LinkedIn.
Well, I have a selfie on LinkedIn that I put up today because I took a course with Michael and Amy Port from Heroic Public Speaking, which was phenomenal. And so I put up a selfie. So I actually think appropriate selfies are great on LinkedIn.
Awesome. Well, that's new to me because I've never seen one. So I'm going to make sure to hit your site tonight and take a look. Yeah, I want to see that.
Yeah. And, even if you're at a networking event with a lot of other professional people, I think it's perfectly fine to add that to your LinkedIn.
I love it. Well, things are changing every day, right? So so we're bringing selfies to LinkedIn. Well, this has been so great. And I just want to just make sure before we go that you tell people where they can find you.
Well, I'm still the only Brynne Tillman on LinkedIn. So that's the best place. But my website is socialsaleslink.com. And my email is brynne@socialsaleslink.com. So feel free to reach out. Let me know that you heard me here.
Awesome. And just to remind our listeners, you can also get Brynne's book, which is the LinkedIn Sales Playbook. It's a tactical guide to social selling. Brynne, it's been so much fun to hang out with you here today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh my gosh, thanks for having me. This was fun.
Hey, thanks so much for hanging out with us today. If you were inspired or learned something new, please subscribe to the podcast, give us a review, and share us with your friends. For more information about me and how I can support you, please stop on over to my website at CamiLehman.com and book a free call with me. I'd love to meet you and learn more about how I can support you.